Hi, I'm Tom Farley, and this is Lessons from Chris. Growing up, whenever our parents were yelled at us, I was always the one who held his ground. As soon as my parents started up, I jumped in, defending myself, my actions, my words, and I was always the first one sent to his room. Chris was different. Chris always waited, and he listened. He searched for the main reason our parents were mad, and then he hit him hard with the apologies. He was really good at selling his guilt. But I truly think that was what made Chris an amazing comedian and actor. His ability to listen. Ask people if they're good listeners, and most will say, yeah, sure. But the truth is, when most people start talking to us about an event, a problem, other people, our brains immediately go into search mode, looking for a similar experience to relate to. To us, our story is much more interesting or relevant or fun. We immediately start to judge two stories, ours and theirs. At its core, communications is pretty simple. The model requires just two elements, a sender and a receiver. Unfortunately, what happens in much of our daily conversations is a breakdown somewhere in between the two. We've gone way past the ideal of I talk, you listen, then you talk and I listen. In fact, many of us have even lost the art of beginning a conversation. How many times do we send out a message and then check out as if our work is done now? Or we send our message before the receiver is even ready to receive it. We just start talking. So what do we do now? How do we fix this? Well, we can start by keeping those two components in mind when we do communicate. We need a sender and we need a receiver. And remember these key points. First, you don't always need to respond. Sometimes people just need to bounce ideas off someone, and they need them to just listen. Second, focus your mind. As I said, our brains are constantly operating. In fact, it's pretty hard to stop talking or thinking to ourselves. And that's when we miss vital information. And finally, focus on the other person and try to maintain that focus throughout the conversation. There are many reasons we jump to conclusions and interrupt others in their thought process, but it doesn't make for good listening. Only after we've fully listened can we then contribute something valid or meaningful. I wish I had learned to be a better communicator earlier on in my career. I probably missed a few opportunities to collaborate, or certainly to learn something new. And if I learned to listen better earlier in life, I definitely wouldn't have been sent to my room as often. I'm Tom Farley, and that is a lesson from Chris.